Hello, good evening. This is the Monday meditation. Welcome to this Monday. Um, this is this is the series going beyond the I, meditating, considering who we are while we are in meditation and transcending that limited understanding of ourselves. And so to go beyond the identity of who you are, you have to understand who you are, right? Because otherwise there's no way that you can like grow past it. And when you sit in awareness, then your identity is like the absolute center of your imagined universe. And everything really, in your thinking, everything really does evolve around yourself. And then when you hone into this thing that you know yourself as you, and you go like more and more into the center, focus more and more onto that, then there is in the middle of it, there is a pinprick of awareness. It's like unmoving and unmovable. It's and that's what they call the self, the conscious self, the not the I. And from this conscious self, this is where the story of who you think yourself of as is born and is seen and is experienced. Um, and so it also holds that entirety of the story in itself. Um, and that awareness, that awareness is what, vast, absolutely vast, and at the same time is minuscule. It's like tiny. You can reach it whether you go to the end of the stars um, and into the very center of the atom. And in that point of awareness is the beginning of each path and the end of each path. And beginning and between those, that's where the story of your life seems to unfold. That story of you, it unfolds from the past and, into the future that you think you can control. And, for most of us, the story starts from birth, or it might start with your parents, or it might start with your grandparents, or maybe in a birth in another lifetime, or the birth of life, even. You might know yourself as energy first, as having started with the birth of the universe. And yet, that is still a story of this world. It is part of Maya, the illusory nature of thinking. And so that past informs who you think you are. And this is the story of who you think you are. And then the future is a prediction of how this past image will most likely continue to evolve. And the story of the future is a mix of anxious thinking and wishful thinking and logical reasoning. When we engage with this story of who we are, what we do is we bypass this moment. And when you're really present, meticulously present in this moment, then there is no room for a story. There is only now. It's only this now. It's the length. It isn't even the length of a breath, because the length is a measure that needs a start and a finish. It's only breathing. It's a flow of breathing, the happening, the unity of breathing and breather and breath and air and body. And because even that story of I am breathing only arises and dies in that moment. And so if this moment, this meticulous present moment is all that is real, if that is true, then the past doesn't exist and the future doesn't exist. So do you have a past? Can you even know that you have a past? So in this meditation, let's have a look at this. So allow yourself to sit comfortably and easily and close your eyes and allow your breath, allow your attention to come to your breath. Become aware of the breath, the rhythm of your breath right now. Whether it's fast because you just came in and sat down, or whether it's shallow or slow, or whether it's shaky or uneven, whatever it is, this is your natural rhythm of breath right now. And become aware of the sensation of the breath, the sensation of the air coming past your nostrils, traveling down your throat and expanding the chest. And breathing out, the air coming back up. Maybe the temperature of the air is different in the inhalation and the exhalation. Maybe the quality feels different, the quantity feels different. Just notice. Eckhart Tolle recommends body awareness as a doorway to being present. So with your next inhalation, follow the sensation of the breath down into the body. And all the way down to the feet. And become aware of the feet touching the floor, maybe touching each other. And maybe being in shoes or socks, or you can feel the air. And become aware of your ankles, the lower legs. And become aware of the knees and the thighs. The hips, And become aware of the lower abdomen. Notice any discomfort or tension. The abdomen is one of the places where we hold tension. And so we end up with digestive tissues, and become aware of the region of the stomach and liver area just underneath the rib cage. And become aware of the chest. And become aware of the shoulders, arms and hands. And become aware of the length of the spine. The throat, the face, the top of the head and the back of the head. Become aware of the whole body, the whole body. Imagine a time in your past. Any time will do, whatever jumps into your awareness right now. Other than memory, which is a thought, can you be absolutely sure that this past happened as you remember? Can you be sure if it happened at all? What is your proof other than memory? Find one thing that you're fairly certain about in your past and notice how this event shaped you. Notice how the story of your past gets more and more complex as you consider how this event shaped you. What would happen if this event hadn't been like that? What would happen to your story of yourself if what you remember isn't the whole truth or isn't even true at all? These are questions of inquiry that have the power to set you free from the past. Understanding the way the mind builds your identity, the way you're replaying those stories of the past. That understanding goes beyond healing of emotional wounding, because it will take you to a place where you realize that your essence could not have been harmed, has never been harmed. That is freedom. Freedom from who you were. And the capacity to be here now. And with the next inhalation, bring the attention back into the body. And bring your awareness to your hand, maybe the right hand. And feel your hand. Become aware of your hand. With your eyes closed, other than memory of what hand means, what hand looks like, other than memory of the label, the form. Does this sensation equate to hand? If you didn't have a label for it, what would it be? Maybe you come up with energy field, which is another label, another thought. And what would it be without that thought, without that label? As you're asking these questions, adopt a Zen attitude of listening. It is an attitude of a servant waiting up at night for the master of the house to come home. And notice how this is an image from another time, and notice mind building a story, likes and dislikes. And gently come back to the attitude of allowing the answer to arrive in its own time, in its own wisdom. Like contemplative prayer, waiting to be shown the answer, another story. Who would I be without the story of the past? What would my hand be without my story of hand? In the Zen tradition, there used to be one teacher and one student, much like Yoda in the Force. And there is a teacher and his student, or her student, traveling. The teacher relaxed, silent, attentive, delighted. The student thinking, thinking, thinking. So eventually the student cannot sustain the silence any longer, and so he says, Master, how do you enter Zen? And the master looks at him and smiles. And then he says, "Can you hear the mountain stream?" And the student says, "Yes, yes, I can hear it." And in that moment, as he was just listening, he was there. With this pointed attention, open listening. Who would I be without this story? Who would I be without this story? Take a deep breath in and breathe out. Become aware of your feet, your legs, the hips and buttocks, the abdomen and the chest. Become aware of the shoulders, arms, hands, and the spine and throat, the face, and the top and the back of the head. And become aware of the whole body, the whole body. And become aware of the chair you're sitting on. Mm, Your environment, whether it's inside or outside. And once again, take a deep breath in and breathe out. And in your own time, slowly and gently, you can open the eyes again. The invitation for this week is to spend, a few minutes twice a day bringing awareness to your story of yourself. And just for a moment, ask yourself, right now, in this moment, who or what would I be without this story? And of course, you're welcome to listen to the whole meditation as many times as you like this week.